Alright, this is a quick video. So I was looking at this set and I was hoping I could do something with it. And that is, I'm going to set it back to solid here. So what I was hoping I could do with this set was rewire it so it would just be constant on at full brightness. And so I wanted to do a little investigation to see if that would be possible, if it would be reasonable to do it, if it is possible. Because I noticed that this set is very dim in this setting right now. And if I change it to this setting, you can see that you get full brightness out of each of the bulbs. And it actually looks a lot better like this, but you change it to the steady on mode and everything looks pretty dim. So considering that kind of not acceptable. It's got a 6-watt capable power supply. Why can't we use all 6 watts? So in my investigation here, I got some light. Started out looking at it and just kind of guessing at the layout of the wiring, and I was hoping it would be a string in forward and a string backwards. And so the first thing I did was I took the string. It's got 2 wires coming out of the power supply controller box here, which does the inversion, and then it's got 3 wires in this first bulb. It's got 4 wires in every bulb after that. So, and if you count them all up, you get all the way through and you end up with 30 bulbs, and then you have 2 wires again. And so I was hoping that it was wired in strings of 15, but then the voltages wouldn't work out. So you end up with 45 volts per side, which is 90 volts peak to peak, which even with a full bridge driving circuit, it's never going to get there because there's only 29 volts at the power supply. So that doesn't work. So then I went through and traced out the wiring and found out that this is what it's really doing. So this is the AC, this little DC power supply, this is the controller, and so the bulbs are wired like this going through. So there's 3 wires in that first bulb, 4 wires in every bulb after that, until it gets to that last of this little string here of 30. And then there are sets like this which are actually just one bulb going each way, but 15 times. And then that goes all the way through, and there's 10 of those sets, so that's the 10 in series that gets me to 3 volt drop per bulb, so 30 watts total drop, which leads me to say it's a full bridge driver. So it is doing it's flipping the 2 outputs back and forth to turn the thing on. So every LED is wired in reverse to the next. And so that basically means there's no easy fix to do this for a full-on no flicker set. Stuck with flickering mess. So here's a little more detail of that. So we have our AC to DC power supply. It's got 29 volts and 0 volts. We have the sequencer box. And so this is full bridge output over here. So it's 0 or 29 up here, or it's 29 or 0 down here. So it's either 0, 29, 29, or 0. So that's the flipping back and forth. So it's either these 2 or these 2. And so this is the setup right here. You have 30 LEDs with the inverse to each other, stacked up in each set like that, going down the string. And there's 10 of those sets going all the way down. So another way of looking at this, you have the sequencers 29 and 0, so this is what it looks like one way, and you have 10 LEDs like this, and there's actually 15 in each one of these in parallel. So parallel 15, parallel 15, parallel 15, parallel 15, so on and so forth. So one way is lighting up all the red and yellow LEDs, that's forward biased, and then when it goes 0, 29, the bridge flips, the current flows in the opposite direction, really that way. So when the reverse biasing happens, you get the green and blue LEDs now light up, and it's again the same thing, 15 of these stacked up, and you have 10 sets of those. So the conclusion on this is this cannot be converted to a non-flickering set without rewiring the whole thing, or really half of the thing. So you'd have to literally take and flip every single one of these LEDs, all 150 of them, to make it so that they all operate on 29.0, and you can just get rid of the sequencer. And you can get full brightness out of all the LEDs all the time, which would objectively make this a much more useful set for outdoor use, where the dimmer output when it's full on is just not very useful. All right, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.